Hi everyone. We're going to take a quick look at Bloom's taxonomy. Taxonomies are systems of classification based on hierarchies and used in many areas of knowledge. For example, a taxonomy for biology classifies and ranks organisms from the broadest and most inclusive level at the bottom to the most narrow and specific classification at the top. In a similar manner, Bloom's taxonomy, proposed by Benjamin Bloom in 1956, classifies learning levels from a baseline of knowledge to higher and more sophisticated levels for using knowledge. In 2001, the taxonomy was revised, but the principle remained the same. The meaningful difference was that the labels for each level were changed from nouns, such as knowledge and comprehension, to verbs, like remember and understand, to better describe what learners do to demonstrate mastery of knowledge. For example, to demonstrate mastery of analysis, learners must complete an activity that evaluates their ability to analyze. The top two levels were switched as well, with create replacing synthesis and positioned at the top level. For our discussions, we will refer to the revised version of Bloom's. As mentioned, Bloom's taxonomy organizes learning into 6 areas or levels of mastery, with each one acting as a platform to challenge learners to move to the next level. When we speak of scaffolding instruction, we speak of the methodical process of building skill and mastery based on prior learning. When instructing students, you might already be using Bloom's unknowingly because there is an inherent logic to the hierarchy. It stands to reason that before learners have the ability to apply knowledge, they will need to remember and understand the knowledge. To better understand how Bloom's is structured, let's review each level. Remember. To demonstrate the ability to remember, learners recall facts and basic concepts by completing tasks that ask them to define, describe, identify, label, match, and so on. Understand. To demonstrate the ability to understand, learners explain ideas and concepts by completing activities and tasks that ask them to classify, give examples, restate, show, and so on. Apply. Learners use information in new settings. Analyze. Learners make connections between ideas. Evaluate. Learners justify a position or decision. Create. Learners produce new or original work. Let's look at all the levels together and turn our attention to the list of tasks or action verbs assigned to each level. It's important to realize that these are just a few of the types of activities which could be used to evaluate mastery for each level. But notice that identify appears twice. Why is that? Bloom and his colleagues did not publish task lists or action verbs with the taxonomy, and you will find many variations and interpretations of Bloom's published online. Overlap and variations persist because there can be very different interpretations, expectations, and outcomes for the same tasks and actions. Really, the important takeaway here is that Bloom's is meant to help instructors organize and scaffold the learning process to help students build new knowledge and skill based upon prior knowledge and skill. This very simple and very linear example illustrates how an online course is broken down into 3 weekly learning modules, weeks 1, 2, and 3, with each module supporting one course goal based on Bloom's levels: remember, understand, and apply. Since course goals tend to be written in very broad terms, module level objectives are written by instructors using very specific language that describes what learners will do in the module to demonstrate mastery. For example, in week 1, students will take a quiz to demonstrate their ability to identify knowledge. which in turn meets the course goal for students to remember knowledge. Notice that the assessment tool, a quiz, supports the task identify. Once students demonstrate their ability to remember knowledge through identification in week 1, they are challenged to demonstrate their ability to understand knowledge by restating it in their own words in week 2. For week 3, students move to the next Bloom's level, apply and use knowledge in a lab project. How about a real-world example? For the CTE's Teaching Online Courses workshop, learners work toward the course objective of being able to propose a design for a single unit of online instruction. The module Week 2, talking about online teaching, specific module level objectives describe what learners will do to help them meet the course objective. For Week 2, learners describe challenges, compare and contrast strategies, and finally, design a weekly time management strategy. It's not uncommon to make the mistake of thinking introductory level courses don't challenge learners to reach higher levels of learning like analyze, evaluate, or create, or that advanced courses don't include lower levels, such as remember and understand. For example, in an introductory level course, learners might be asked to demonstrate their ability to evaluate knowledge, but the knowledge itself would probably be limited and less complex than the knowledge used for evaluation in advanced courses. Is Bloom's taxonomy right for you? Maybe it seems a bit prescriptive and rigid. That's okay. Bloom's is not above criticism, and there are some other taxonomies you might wish to research. In fact, we've only looked at the cognitive domain for Bloom's. Bloom and his researchers published 2 additional learning domains, the affective and the psychomotor. I hope this presentation has been informative. If you have questions, please contact a CTE instructional designer. Thank you.